Hey, Wixman Ray here. I just did one 12 hours ago or 14 hours ago. So, hey, I thought I'd keep you abreast here on the changes. I wanted to do one a little earlier today since have the day off, which is nice. Get some things done. So I got to run around. So I'm doing this early. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, before I get started on the weather, I just wanted to mention this to y'all. So this was a New Year's resolution to do these videos. So um, I had this in my mind for, I don't know, maybe a couple of years to do something like this. I kept procrastinating and procrastinating. And, late last year, I determined, hey, this is my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna start doing a video around these kind of things, so around weather related things. So yeah, I actually started on January 2nd of this year. So I'm just past my, what is this, 4 month anniversary or 3 month anniversary, something like that. So anyways, yeah, because it's April 7th, 2026, so Tuesday here. So yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that to you. So, um, for those of you who may struggle if you do make goals or resolutions, um, you know, just encourage you to do them if you're really dedicated to doing it. So, anyways, but this has been a passion of mine. So, this one was a little bit easier to do than say, go to the gym every morning or something like that. That's a little bit harder sometimes. Okay, so here we go. So not Saturday morning, Tuesday morning. It's 7:30 on the West Coast, 9:30 Central Time, and 10:30 on the East Coast, and Mountain Time is 8:30 in the morning. So it's morning for all of us. Some of us are just getting going, and some of us have been at work or doing whatever we do for a couple hours if we got up early. So yeah, so like I mentioned last night, we've got this system coming out of British Columbia. Maybe a little bit of shower, a little bit of precip coming across parts of Minnesota, not Minnesota, Montana. I always say this wrong. And but otherwise, it's a weak system, so it's not going to be too strong. It's going to pick up some strength as it heads east and picks up some moisture as we go into Wednesday and Thursday later this week. So, and then we have this little clipper thing here going through the middle part of the country from Nebraska, Iowa, northern Missouri into Illinois. So I think there's a little bit of precipitation with that. We'll take a look here. Also some stuff back in Colorado. I don't know if that's precipitating, but there's some clouds out here. And then here's that little wave that's been moving across the southwest over New Mexico and parts of southwest Texas. Looks like we got some showery activity, maybe a couple thunderstorms going on down there. We'll take a look at that. Still got the activity across Florida, maybe up into a little bit of Georgia here, southern part. The rest of this is just some cloud cover that's not producing precipitation. And yeah, so showers and thunderstorms still going on across Florida, keeping it wet down there. And then we got this little wave moving across the northeast. Looks like there's some snow showers out there. We'll take a look. So here we go, surface observations. So yeah, so not too bad. They're not showing a whole lot of precipitation. Looks like most of it's up in Canada right now. Not too much showing up in Montana. Looks like they've got some high wind warnings up there. Looks like on the lee side of the Rockies up there. So some high winds up there. Looks like I've already seen some gusts up near 50 there at this side. What's that? Cut Bank, Montana. So yeah, so a little windy up there. A little chilly too. Some 30s back here. That's where it was clear last night. A little bit warmer down in here, 40s and 50s, kind of scattered about. And the rest of the West is pretty nice. It's morning out there, so it's still warming up. It's still chilly. The desert, drops, 30, 40 degrees from what the afternoon temps are. So it's a little chilly out there this morning, but they'll warm right up. 63 in Vegas, 62 in San Diego, 67 in Phoenix. And well, here's this activity now. We got some showers and thunderstorms across New Mexico. And what I've got overlaid here, these are called convective segments. These are basically for the aviation community, for pilots and the FAA and those kind of folks. That alerts them that there's thunderstorm or activity going on in these areas. So they call them convective signets. It's kind of like the equivalent of a weather warning that you may get from the National Weather Service. This is created by the Weather Service, but this is specifically for the aviation community. So I thought I would show you that just so you know where thunderstorms are going on. Yeah, and we got this kind of covering this entire area, like we said, down and through here. So still a little cool this morning, in the 50s and 60s this morning, but not too bad. And then here's all that rain here, basically from, yeah, just barely clipping Georgia, but a lot of rain. And then it looks like you go farther south, this is more showers and thunderstorms down, what's this, near Tampa or Fort Myers, that area, and then out over here off the on the eastern side. Looks like maybe some thunderstorm activity. And they've got convective signets or the thunderstorm activity going on through there. So I wanted to kind of highlight that for you. Elsewhere, pretty quiet. Here's that band of precipitation. Some of it's not reaching the ground. They're not reporting anything. So it may not quite have, or maybe it's in between stations. But either way, it's real light out here. It could be a mix of rain and snow. The temperatures are about low to mid 30s, so it could be rain or snow. Looks like we got 32 and rain up there in southern Iowa. So, yeah, maybe a mixed bag of stuff, but nothing too significant. It extends down into Illinois. Over here, it's a little bit warmer, so I would think if anything does fall, it'll be liquid or rain. So, yeah, and then up here in the Northeast, like we said, we're getting a little more snow action. Looks like it's upper 20s to low 30s for most areas. So most of this is going to be some light snow, maybe some heavier, at least moderate to heavy bands in some of it, but nothing too significant. With the highest sun angle this time of year, I mean, it might accumulate this morning, but it then might melt. So it should warm up a little bit by the afternoon. So yeah, so that's what's going on out there. So yeah, not so nice day up in parts of the Northeast anyways. So, unless you like that kind of weather. So yeah, so that's what's going on there at the surface. Go ahead and need to update my model here. Hold on a second. I didn't do that before I logged in here and started talking to y'all. Okay, so we'll get to, this is about right now. So yeah, so you can see this lines up pretty good. We had that little clipper system moving across the Northeast, the rain across Florida, this activity across the Southwest United States, down in Southwest Texas. This little bit of activity, maybe a little bit underdone from what they were showing, and then this stuff up in mostly up in Canada. So some weaker systems right now. So we'll go through the day today. So it's still showers and thunderstorms kind of through most of the day. Looks like tonight they may start to quiet down a little bit across the landmass anyways. So across Florida. So may get a reprieve at night. See, we get this low pressure moving out of Canada now tonight. This is this evening, actually, about 9, 10 o'clock tonight, actually. So it looks like some showers. There might even be some thunder pops in that as we get into tonight across, North Dakota down through parts of Montana. So in that general area, all the snow should stay up in Canada with this system, at least right now. And then they're still showing that little showery activity across Iowa tonight, so something to keep an eye on. Don't know if we're going to see thunder out of it, but something to keep an eye on. And then as we go through Wednesday, so we'll go to right, so this is Wednesday afternoon. So yeah, this is where it gets a little more active along the front. We start seeing some isolated to scattered thunderstorms from Wisconsin, Iowa, parts of Nebraska, and Kansas there on Wednesday afternoon and evening, and that'll continue to press south and east a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's still wet down across Florida on Wednesday during the day, and then you can kind of see at night it kind of tapers off. They still show some near the coastal area, but so not completely dry. So this is going towards Thursday morning. There's the front, continues to press east, and back up through the Midwest here and the Great Lakes, and then looks like a little activity back here too. We got another little weak disturbance, and yeah, we saw some. It looks like some real isolated stuff here on Wednesday across the West. I think we saw that yesterday. Some isolated showers, nothing too big to write home about, but it'll be there. So that's going through Thursday, and yeah, it looks like this little activity gets organized here during the day, and so some thunderstorms probably out through this area, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, maybe parts of northern Missouri. Yeah, and still, once again, we see the showery activity up across the west here over the Great Basin and parts of the Rockies there and into California there. So something to keep an eye on. And then this front kind of presses east. It starts moving across the Great Lakes and into the Northeast as we go through Friday night. And then that's kind of gone. And then we got this next system as we go into Friday with another chance of showers and thunderstorms. And that's when we start really you see a little bit of activity earlier in the week across South Texas and near the coastal area, but as we go into Thursday, it's going to get a little wetter, showers and thunderstorms across Texas, and that'll continue into Friday, especially Friday. And then you see this out in the west too. It gets a little more active for parts of the west with showers and some thunderstorms, it looks like. Um, so with that, so this is kind of a weak front coming down, nothing too strong with it, but be some showers and thunderstorms along it. Um, so with that said, here's our outlook. Our day one outlook, it shows the stuff over the west there where we've been seeing it, and it'll move up into Colorado a little bit, and then that stuff we saw up here, they got it extending a little farther back than what I anticipated, but hey, they're the experts, so we'll let them put this product out. So for tomorrow, we still got that marginal risk over Kansas, so let's see what they're saying. Low probability of tornadoes. Looks like more of a hail threat. That'll be the best threat. Winds are pretty low. The damaging winds are tornadoes. So something to watch out. Watch out for some hail maybe tomorrow. Probably in the evening. They probably will be elevated storms. I haven't read the discussion, but typically when you only see a hail threat, it's usually a elevated storm, and those usually form at night. So, and we can get into that another day when we have time, maybe in the dead of summer when it's quieter. So, and then day three, here's that, this is Thursday, so that was Wednesday, right? Yeah. So the Wednesday, I might have said Tuesday. Wednesday was yesterday across Kansas. And then on Thursday, yeah, it looks like north of Kansas City, up across this neck of the woods, hitting southeast Nebraska, and then extending down towards Dodge City and parts of Kansas here and into West Texas. So that's where at least a marginal threat. Um, so that just means there's not a high of a risk, but it could still happen. And then you're seeing that stuff out in, like we were talking about, out in California, parts of Nevada probably. And then, yeah, it gets active across Texas, this whole area. That's where that front's kind of laying is through here. And then you got moisture coming off the Gulf causing this, with instability causing this going on Thursday. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at. I don't think they have anything for day 4. They're probably not confident enough. It didn't look super strong. Yeah, they got something in there. Let's look at this. Day 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so there must be a storm developing. So day 5 is Saturday. So this weekend into Monday, they're looking at something. I haven't gone out that far, so let's just take a quick look. We'll scroll into, so this is Friday evening. Okay, so this is Saturday. So they're thinking maybe out here in West Texas on Saturday. Maybe there's some upper level system. Because this is Sunday, so yeah. This model hasn't. This only goes out through Sunday evening. This model, but yeah, it looks like there's some thunderstorms. So yeah, something to watch for the weekend. Some severe thunderstorms, a little more organized possibly, as we go into Saturday and Sunday across Texas anyways. and up into Oklahoma probably. So, anyways, that's how it is. That's what the current conditions are showing, and the the forecast through Friday. I'm sticking with it. Yeah. So, anyways, that's all I got. I appreciate y'all being here, and this is Wixman Ray out.